DSTV channel 277. Also streaming live on Facebook at Metro News and on Twitter at Metro TVGH. My name is MORO AWUDU. Coming up this evening in the next 25 minutes, reports of possible invasion of Burkinabe bandits at border communities in the country have left residents, particularly those in the Upper East region, terrified. But security officials say they are on high alert. And also in the news, Attorney General advises police service to officially charge the teenage suspect in the killing of an 11-year-old boy with murder. One Newsline is always brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of Flora Disposable Tissue. Newsline will be right back.
Need a little help? Nobody does it better. At UCS Facility Management, we give you the best in janitorial services, which include high-rise window cleaning, office cleaning, post-construction cleaning, facade washing, deep cleaning, carpet cleaning, swimming pool cleaning, and event janitorial services. Locate us at AWUDU, JA Plant Pool premises, or call us on 0501 666 322 or 0203 299 212 or 0203 299 234. UCS, your property is under our care.
Blood gives life. Blood is very important. Let's donate blood to save lives. On Saturday, June 19th, 2021, Metro TV, Original TV, and Original FM humbly invite you to be part of blood donation exercise at the premises of Metro TV, close to Alisa Hotel on Dr. Isert Street at North Ridge in Accra. The exercise will start at 7 o'clock in the morning. It is in commemoration of the World Blood Donation Day. Join us Save Lives as we donate blood for the Blood Bank. This exercise is in partnership with Blue Skies, Pharma Nova, manufacturers of 3 First Serum, #1 builder of blood cells.
There's a place for people like you.
Welcome back to the program. And now to our first story. Now, the father of the murdered police officer involved in the daylight robbery incident which took place at Adidenkpo, Jamestown, Peter Kennedy Atta, says his life is shaky as his only breadwinner is no more. My colleague Ohenema Amponsan has been speaking to the father on his financial and health issues.
I took medication before I slept. So when I woke up, I couldn't sleep. I came and sat down here and I was weeping. I wept. After now, I'm not comfortable. Not comfortable at all. Because it's the only sons that I rely on, I depend on, my life depends on these two. That's why I'm saying that if I die today, I would have feel better. If I were to die, it would have been better for me. Because I'm a pensioner. How am I going to purchase drugs? I know a lot of drugs. So, I told him when he travel, I'll report him because he has to bury me. I've suffered pension. I went on pension before he went to university. Sister, it's not easy. I was sleeping on the floor. He came, said, "Da, what from my chair?" And he bought me a bed. For the past about 6 years, I was sleeping on the floor because of how to maintain him at the school. He came and bought me a bed. That's why I've moved or sleeping on the bed. And this thing will happen to me, to Kobe. It's called Kobe. Sister, I wish I'd die.
Meanwhile, security expert Adam Bona is calling on government to invest in intelligence gathering as a means to bring to the barest minimum recent crime rate. He was speaking on Good Afternoon Ghana with my colleague Francis Akakra-Forson, where the security analyst noted that the 20,000 bounty for information leading to the arrest of the Jamestown bullion van robbers was woefully inadequate.
Well, I think what they need to do, I have repeatedly said it, intelligence, intelligence, intelligence. There are three things. Intelligence, the first one is intelligence, the second one is intelligence, the third one is intelligence. If the police is properly structured and properly tooled and properly trained with all the things that is required of them with the right persons in charge, what is going to happen is that they will collect, intel on could be criminals, gangs who are preparing to strike, and they will be able to arrest them before they strike. And so the police know what they have to do. The only thing has to do with being bold and having the right persons to take decisions and ensure that they are ahead of the criminals. I heard the IGP or someone like that mention 20,000 Ghana cedis to be given to anyone who is able to give information leading to the arrest. But is that enough for an informant to give you information on a police officer who is
That's
shot?
not
20,000 is, I don't know. No.
What would have been enough then?
Well, if you ask me, I would have been expecting 50,000 or a double of that. You want to give something that is larger.
The Attorney General has advised the police service to charge the teenage suspect in the killing of an 11-year-old boy with conspiracy to commit murder and murder. Now, this comes after a copy of the docket was submitted to the AG's office for advice in the ongoing trial. The two suspects, including a minor, have been remanded for 1 month. Here's a lawyer for the accused, Samuel Etiahene.
You're all aware. Everybody is interested in this case. And as I said earlier on, I'm very happy that the AG has worked hard to bring that trial so that at least we can commence the trial. And the AG has directed that they should charge the accused person for conspiracy to murder and forward the docket to AG for the bail of indictment and summary of evidence to be prepared so that we can start the trial as early as possible. I've been able to reach them, but we are cooperating. But for their security, I don't want to disclose where they are now. Yes.
Are you still going to the High Court for the bail application?
Yes, I'm going to the High Court for the bail application.
How soon?
Let's see, by next week, I'll move my application.
Which means you've already filed the bail application?
I'll say yes.
All right, thank you.
Now, Ghana is on high alert over a planned attack by Burkinabe bandits in the Upper East region. Now, Upper East regional correspondent Francis Dabang reports that residents along the border communities are terrified and they want security beefed up in the area. We have been joined on Zoom by the Executive Director for the West Africa Center for Counter-Extremism, Mutaru Mumuni Mukhtar, to delve into the issues of growing insecurity in the country and, for that matter, the sub-region as large. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsline.
Good evening and good evening to your viewers.
Right. Now, the first question I'd like to ask you is, why would Ghana be a target for this group?
Well, if you look at the character of threat within West Africa and the scope of the threat of violent extremism within West Africa in the last 8-10 years has been a very pervasive one. And in the last few years, exactly 3 years ago, we saw a significant shift in terms of expansion of the threat of violent extremism. We're seeing the threat of violent extremism descending towards coastal states, towards Burkina Faso, beyond Mali, Niger, and Chad. We saw the inclusion of Burkina Faso and Côte d'Ivoire as new territories that hitherto did not have incidents of violent extremism. Violent extremists clearly communicated that Ghana and several other coastal states, including Benin, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire, as new targets for their attacks. And so our intelligence agencies and security agencies in this country have always been aware that Ghana is a potential target for violent extremists. And so what has happened today, in the last couple of 24 hours, what we are seeing is not a new threat at all. It is not a new, a shock at all to people who have been familiar with the threat of violent extremism within West Africa.
Right. Now, tell us about whether or not, when you look at the security architecture of this country, are we ready to contain this group? If indeed what we're picking or the signals we're picking is anything to go by, are we ready to contain them and to prevent them from causing any mayhem?
Well, that kind of question that we often pose, whether Ghana is ready or not for a kind of complicated and sophisticated, character of threat like extremism or terrorism, it doesn't look useful. No nation on earth, including the United States and several other stocked in terms of security countries all over the world, no nation is adequately prepared or immune to the threat of attacks. What we should be looking at, what is the level of preparedness, especially how do we respond to issues when they happen? Our preparedness and response is key in dealing with this kinds of threats. Look, there's no any adequate, preparation for this. But to tell whether we will be able to deal with this successfully will be determined by the sort of, mechanism, the security architecture we have. Events are less important than our reactions to them in terms of security. What happens is not what is most important. How we deal with things is what determines the preparedness and resilience of the people. We've seen in the last 4 years some sort of significant escalation of commitment to dealing with the threat along the borders. Right. We've seen, the borders that have been beefed up. If you move from Boga towards, Paga, Navrongo, and Boku areas, you would discover new barriers and, checkpoints that have been set up and at the borders as well. Right. But clearly, if you're familiar with this, you would know that this is woefully inadequate. So to give it a short, answer to your question, we are not adequately prepared for it, right, but that in itself.
Right, that's fine. But just briefly, if you can touch on this, if you look at the modus operandi of this group, they take advantage of conflict in rural areas. If you look at how the northern region is, the setup, I'm talking about the socio-cultural setup, and for that matter, the political setup and the dynamics at play in the northern part of Ghana, would you say it puts us more in danger?
And so you're looking at the underpinnings and the vulnerabilities that can expose us to terrorism or extremist attacks here. And of course, there are varied factors, and several of them as well. And so if you look at the pervasive conflicts, chieftaincy and ethnic conflicts, land disputes, and political violence in many parts of the north, it serves as a conveyor belt to violent extremist recruitment and attacks. So yes, these kinds of vulnerabilities expose us and make us more vulnerable to attacks. More especially the proximity of northern Ghana, as well as the very porous borders, allow interaction between the two countries, and that in itself make us more vulnerable to incidents of violent extremist recruitment and attacks.
All right. I want to thank you very much, Mutari. That's Muntari Muktari, the Executive Director for the West Africa Center for Counter-Extremism, talking to us on Newsline tonight. We're going to be moving on to our next story where, we're going to be taking a short break. When we come back, we have more on Newsline. Stay tuned in.
Bonsoir, monsieur, madame, et voilà.
Ah, babe, What is this?
This is the escargot and the foie gras. Oui.
Where did she go?
You pa one casa who say obase your pay eh?
It's been long since you ever felt like this.
Welcome to the best in Ghanaian entertainment on Aquaba Magic. Welcome home to Aquaba Magic on DSTV channel 150. It's your moment. DSTV.
All right, welcome back. The leadership of the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana say they are unhappy with a 3-month period given by the National Labour Commission to address their concerns. Addressing journalists after they met with the NLC, the president of TUTAC, Dr. Michael Akurgu Brigande, said although they are not satisfied with the outcome of the meeting, they will confer with other members to decide whether to return to the classroom or not. Meanwhile, a Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Bright Rekubrobe, is hopeful that the lecturers will call off the strike.
The first thing we're looking out for, as far as this meeting was concerned, was to see how the National Labour Commission was going to describe our strike. And indeed, they have admitted that our strike is legal. I must say that it is not just the representatives here that's called the strike. We have our constituents. We will have to get back to them, meet them, relay what has happened here, hear from them, and then we will meet as Congress. And Congress will decide the way forward with regard to this strike. That the party that is involved, that is government, admitted that it did not do well. It failed to do the right thing and is only pleading with us to rescind our decision and to bear with them. And that was the more reason why the Commission decided that there must be timelines in addressing these issues. And the Commission has given up to 15th of September that all the issues should be addressed.
We explained to each other and they understood. So what I would say is that we are grateful to them and that we are hoping that they call off the strike as early as possible for academic work to resume. Thank you.
The Health Minister, Kweku Agyemang-Manu, has justified government's procurement of the Sputnik V vaccines at an overpriced value of $19 and $18.5. Addressing these concerns, the minister said Ghana was left with no choice but to sign this agreement since other avenues of acquiring vaccines had failed. He gave these remarks on the sideline of a program organized to officially launch the Pest and Vector Control Association of Ghana.
Government has under intense pressure following its decision to use intermediaries to secure over 3 million Sputnik V vaccines at a cost of $19 and $18.5 instead of the $10 on the international market. Addressing these concerns, the Minister of Health said the lives of Ghanaians is paramount. Hence, government had no choice than to engage middlemen.
At the time that we signed this agreement, FDA has approved of only 2 vaccines, AstraZeneca and Sputnik. COVAX has indicated to us that all our deliveries that were going to come after the first drop will be delayed until June, July, because India has banned exports.
That means many people.
So there was nothing coming from there. The African Medicine Supply Platform, we had registered with them. The one they were allocating to us, Johnson & Johnson, had not been released, registered in Ghana, not even elsewhere in the world. And they couldn't give us nothing. The indication was until August. So we didn't have much options to swim around. Our LC delayed for some reasons. When it got to them and it was confirmed, they sent us a message that they had run out of stocks. And up to I speak, they haven't been able to drop one single dose. What wrong have I committed? There are several other things I should have gone through. But emergency, where people are dying, the disease is spreading, and we have found an antidote to vaccinate. And the president has promised Ghanaians that will protect the nation through the vaccination. What else could I have done?
Meanwhile, the president of the Pest and Vector Control Association, PEVAG, of Ghana, that's Dr. Joseph Siao Ejapon, has called on all private sector players in the pest and vector control sector to join the association in order to create a united front in the fight against pests in the country and keep Ghanaians safe. According to him, the country cannot continue to have uncertified and unprofessional outfits in the sector, as some of these companies use products that are harmful to human health and the environment. He also made this known at the official launch of PEVAG.
The Pest and Vector Control Association of Ghana was formed in March 2020 and has currently over 150 member companies. Over the years, the association has tried to bring together various industry players to bring sanity into the sector. Speaking at the official launch of the association, the president, who is also the executive chairman of the Jospon Group of Companies, Dr. Joseph Siao Ejapon, said the existence of the association will ensure standardization and professionalism in the sector to keep Ghanaians safe.
Just imagine engaging the services of an untrained and uncertified person to disinfect our schools, our homes, and our workplaces. This person may not even understand the nature and composition of the chemicals being used. In such a situation, the lives of our children and our populace would be at tremendous risk. Therefore, it is imperative for us to hire a professional company which has the staff and also the requisite training, certification, and proven track record, as well as EPA certification. That is why the association has been formed. Our ultimate goal is the protection of Ghanaians.
He added members of the association would be given the requisite training and certification to function effectively.
The association is registering members and giving them licenses plus identification numbers. This is to give all service providers a professional outlook, offer them the necessary training and support, and regulate their activities.
The Health Minister, Kwejo Ajiman-Menu, said the association will go a long way to mitigate the rise in pest and vector across the country, as well as its intended consequences.
Over the years, there has been an overwhelming increase in pests and vectors in our major towns and cities, due partly to urbanization, rapid of course, and the associated poor sanitation. Efforts to curb the increase and spread of pests and vectors and other disease pathogens in public places have not yielded the needed results for various reasons. This has contributed significantly to the spread of preventable diseases and avoidable deaths. There is also an urgent need to sanitize the pest and vector control industry in the country by building the capacity of players to respond appropriately.
Other stakeholders present at the launch, including the Mayor of Accra, representatives from the Ghana Health Service, the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Parliamentary Select Committee on Sanitation, Health, Science and Technology, among others, also declared their support to the Pest and Vector Control Association of Ghana.
Now, motorists and other road users in the three communities, that's Mangli, Takla, Benoi and Hojo, all in the whole municipality of the Volta region, say they are calling on authorities to fix the deplorable roads, else they will face their wrath. The residents have given the Volta Regional Minister and the Municipal Chief Executive a 2-week ultimatum. Our Volta Regional Correspondent, Christian Ahudie, has come through with this report read to you.
Whole municipal township to rural farming communities are in a deplorable state. Assembly members of these communities say several appeals to authorities have fallen on deaf ears. Motorists are the worst affected.
People are suffering before they get car come here. Now I pick somebody right now, I take 5 cedi instead of 2 cedi because of the road. We need help.
In fact, it's very pity for standing on this dust, telling a story concerning our road. What I realized was, they said contractor is a Velim Ventures. But according to the contractors that have been coming to the road, there are more than 5. Some will come for clearing, some for reshaping, covered, and then the 4th one that came was able to fill this road waiting for the bitumen. But what happened? They say they did not even pay him. So he left.
Meanwhile, opinion leaders in the community have warned of future demonstrations if help does not come. Metro News will keep viewers updated.
All right, all too soon, this is what we bring to an end tonight's edition of Newsline right here on Metro TV, brought to you by Delta Paper, that producers of disposable flora tissues. I want to thank you very much for watching another edition of Newsline. My name is MORO. I hope you enjoyed yourself, because I did. Remember, the news never sleeps. Have a good night.
Ghana is a beautiful country. There is so much of it you probably haven't seen, haven't experienced, haven't touched, haven't felt, haven't eaten. When this is all over, let's discover our land again with new eyes. Let's feel each other again. We are one people, brought together by destiny. Let's make that count. Let's show love for each other and our environment. Let's tell our stories, and let's watch and listen to our stories. There will be so much to tell. Ghana is a truly beautiful country. Be Ghana, stay in Ghana, experience Ghana, make Ghana great. And we will invite the world to come and experience Ghana too. But for now, stay home. Brought to you by the National Film Authority. Supports the Stay Home and Discover Ghana Later campaign. This channel supports the campaign.